Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Bachelor finale post-show live chat with me, Bachelor Fantake. How's everyone doing tonight? It's late. We are heading up towards midnight, but 3-hour Bachelor finale and the last live stream for a few months, so we got to make it happen. We got to do it. And a lot to talk about, a lot of twists and turns, a lot going on. A lot of times tonight that I was gagged and gooped and surprised. Not so much with who Joey picked in the end, but with pretty much everything else. So let's get into it. Spoilers away. There's no spoilers, no sleuthing to be done. Just talking about what went down, and it was a lot. So yeah, we saw tonight the final dates, the final rose, and the Bachelorette announcement, and we saw the moment where that they've been teasing in the previews of was this never before seen moment, which was Daisy showing up, I think, to Kelsey's room on the final day and saying, I know it's you, basically. Especially after Kelsey said, "Oh yeah, I got tons of validation on our final date," and Daisy was like, "Oh, I got no validation." And then both of them, the gag worthy shot was this: they have the individual shots of them in their limos close up, and then it zooms out, and they both went to the rose ceremony together, where Daisy essentially told Joey, "It's okay, I know it's not me." And then Kelsey and Joey got engaged. And AJ, thank you so much for the super chat. Good to see you. Really appreciate that. I'm so happy for Kelsey and Joey. I hope they stay together. I'm shocked by Jen being announced as the Bachelorette. Yes, that's the other big one. They had this whole thing going where Bachelor announcement, then they bring Daisy out for a solo thing, where Jesse Palmer really trying to bait that Bachelorette announcement. Maria was in the audience. She had a mic on too, and so at that point I was like, I was when I saw the mic on Maria, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, they gave her a mic, but no. Jen announced as the next Bachelorette, first Asian Bachelorette, and AJ says, I'm so happy for her. Can't wait to see how her season plays out. Absolutely, I think it's long overdue that we have an Asian lead, and there have been a lot of good candidates in the past. Though I am surprised. I know there's going to be a lot of discussion, and a lot of discussion that's going to take away from Jen as as the first Asian Bachelorette. It's going to take a lot away from that conversation, because it is shocking. She was not in the top 4, and which it doesn't necessarily, that's not entirely a prerequisite. We've seen Bachelorettes come well out of the top 4 before, but there was just such a massive following, like online reactions from the tell-all, but just online following for both Daisy and Maria. Now, Daisy did come out and say, I'm not ready to be the Bachelorette, which, you never know the politics of the situation. You don't know if they got, like, the producers back there, forcing her to say something like that. But certainly, I feel like, it seems traditional that if she had won it, it would have been hers. But no, not her, and not Maria, who, I know Maria is a bit of a, some people really hated the idea, a lot of people really loved the idea. I was thinking it was going to be Maria, and I was really getting on board with that, mostly I just thought, like, it's, would be the chaotic choice, and that would be some interesting TV. maybe Maria turned it down too. Maybe production, you never know sometimes what happens behind the scenes. We've had bachelors and bachelorettes lined up, and then last minute, something happens, something comes out, or just there's a meeting or whatever, and it gets pulled under, and then they go with Jen. And now, that being said, I felt like, oh, well, Maria's going to be not a typical choice. Well, Jen's not a typical choice as well, so I'm interested to see what happens with the season. Though surprised. I thought, especially when they pulled that Daisy bait and switch with the Bachelor announcement, I thought, well, okay, there you go. That's Maria's going to be the Bachelorette. But nope. Jen is, and let's see how it goes. And Maria Hernandez, thank you for the super chat. Really, really appreciate that. Good to see you. When Jesse said that it's an ending we never saw coming, he wasn't kidding. Congrats to Joey and Kelsey. Congrats to Jen. And mildly confused at the same time on picking her. You deserve a break now, yes. Thank you for that. I think a lot of people are. And I think most importantly, the most important thing to say is that I just hope that people, who are upset about it not being Maria or Daisy or whoever, take some time and make sure that nobody is messaging Jen saying like, WTF, you got, you barely in the seat, like blah 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 blah, blah, you don't deserve it or whatever, because we saw what happened with Rachel, and I'm glad they put out that segment, especially it should have been put out regardless, but now it's even more important that segment with Rachel was put out at the Women Tell All about the messages she received, and most importantly, if that's something people are upset about and thinking I'm going to message her, just don't. And again, this the shock of Maria not being the lead or Daisy will sadly it will take away some of the excitement, I think, but on the same hand, I was shocked, but yes, we saw all through this episode. And while I'm at it, Jesse Palmer even doing a little tease on Kelsey's dad. Maybe we'll see you again. Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I know a lot of people have talked about him for Golden Bachelor. Well, maybe he could be a contestant on the Golden Bachelor. Maybe that's what he was talking about. But in terms of there being a Golden Bachelor, I mean, if we're looking at a Golden Bachelor, we're talking probably a year from the end of this year. So like end of 2025, maybe there's going to be a Golden Bachelor season again. So I'm not sure about the timing for him on that one, but maybe they're trying to pull him into the Golden Bachelorette. We'll see. I know he was a favorite, but yes, congrats to Jen. I am very interested to see that season, and it's overdue. Yeah, there was an ad saying they're casting for. Yeah, they're still casting for the Golden. That should be. What I don't know about the Golden Bachelorette though is if it's replacing Bachelor in Paradise. Sometimes I've been wearing this a lot. My wife got me this for Christmas. It's a Wells's Bar Bachelor in Paradise shirt. It's a little bit silly to try and show it off here, but with the angle I've got. But haven't heard a thing about Bachelor in Paradise, and maybe they're going, well, we're gonna replace that with Golden Bachelor. I don't know. We'll see. Like, especially now. I mean, here's conspiracy time. Fresh off the press, I literally, meaning I literally just thought about it. What if they were going, okay, we're thinking about Maria as the Bachelorette, but what if we're also thinking about Jen, and what if we go with Jen for the Bachelorette? And the network is really considering canceling Bachelor in Paradise. What if we save Maria and say we're going to put her on Bachelor in Paradise? And the network goes, okay, maybe we'll give you another chance. And then it gives Bachelor in Paradise one more season to redeem itself, which it really, another season like last one, and it deserves to die, because that was pretty rough. But maybe this is all strategic planning. They're trying to divide their resources and get people interested in popping into Bachelor in Paradise by putting all the Maria stans, Bachelor in Paradise, and then why did you say, all right, Laurie Mills, why did you say no spoilers, then tell all in first 10 minutes? Angry face. Well, Laurie, I actually didn't say that. What I said in the very first minute was complete spoilers, because this is the finale. Also, I don't know if you're tuning in, why you're tuning in to this, if you haven't watched the show. So I think you just maybe are in the wrong place, and you should probably go watch the show at a different time. Sorry for that, Laurie Mills. But where were we? Bachelor in Paradise. Maybe the last thing I think I have to say about Bachelor in Paradise, because usually you think maybe we would have known by now if it's been renewed, or I don't know, maybe not. It would have to film. It usually films in June, so they have time, I guess, to figure out if they're going to be doing it. But it's just so cheap to make, you know what I mean? It's just so cheap to make. So it's like, okay, we can, if we got the time slot for it, you're not putting a lot of money in it, And why do producers get to choose? That's a really good question. I think, they choose because they want to have the most control over the show that they're making. And sometimes they know things behind the scenes. They want someone who's going to probably play ball with them, and they might have an angle that they're trying to go after. So they make the decision. I have always thought that they should just throw it out to a vote for people for one season, just to hype it up that way. This is the people's choice. We're just going to go with whoever they choose, even if it's a meme pick, and then they can put that to rest. If it's a real failure, then it's on us. Then it's us who failed, and they can say, hey, all right, never again. But no, they want to control the narrative, and I know there's been times in the past where they have multiple people on board, and then they find out something like, oh, the guy that we were going to pick, which is a true story, he's been sort of planning his season. They find out these things. He's been kind of in relationships, pulling people onto the show to try and like get them the relationship kind of all done in advance and stuff like that. This is what allegedly, but this is what happened with a guy named Luke Pell from JoJo's season. Very popular guy, top 4 guy, and he was lined up to be the next Bachelor, but then they pulled the rug on it at the last minute. He was pretty much everything but signed on fully, and I think, from what I understand, again, don't know 100%. Can't like, I haven't seen a contract in front of my face. But what I've been told is that sometimes the Bachelor or Bachelorette contracts have clauses that basically the show can just, as long as we, like, at a certain point, we can just kind of pull you if we choose up to a certain point. Or at least maybe they didn't. So that could be there could be a whole lot of shenanigans behind the scene that we just don't know about that go into it, and that's why producers control everything they can. But we'll see. July, it's gonna be a slog. We've got till July for the next Bachelorette. It used to be. I remember the days. It used to be in May. I remember way sort of like back Hannah Brown season. I remember they had in early May they had like a Bachelorette reunion special, which I did a video on way back in the early days of the channel, and then it was in May. Now we're July, which I feel like I heard something like Jesse Palmer's schedule. He preferred that, and they were like, okay. So yeah, we'll see. And if they do Bachelor in Paradise, when does that fit in as well? It would have to be something like they're going to do it again, a 3-hour thing, where it's Golden Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise at the end of the year. But, we'll see. I do hope that regardless of whether or not they do Bachelor in Paradise and Golden Bachelor or not, that they keep the Golden Bachelor an hour long. I felt that was really good at an hour long. Really nice, digestible. They don't need to do too much with the Golden Bachelor, Bachelorette. They don't need that. They don't need them running around doing as much as these young kids do in the Bachelor and Bachelorette, where they're run into dates all the time. And I've heard what it's like, a filming schedule on The Bachelor, where what we see is such a small fragment of their actual day. They spend hours away from each other. Like, you're on a one-on-one, you're spending hours and hours and hours away, and then like you come together for your little date, and then hours away, and then you come together for your dinner date, and it's like long filming schedules. And then to do all of that, 2 dates in the week and a group date, it's hard. It's hard for anyone at any age. So, and AJ, thank you for the super chat again. Why is The Bachelorette in July, not June? I liked when it was in May. Yeah, I know. It's I guess. I mean, you'd have to ask the network. Sometimes it's a scheduling thing, but one thing I had heard a while back was that some of the scheduling changes was because Jesse Palmer preferred it. Again, heard a rumor, but I had heard that before these schedule changes happened, and then these schedule changes started to happen. So I wonder if that's still some of the case. Yeah, could be NHL, NBA playoffs. Sports is a big factor a lot of the time. But, so what's it going to be? Is it going to be Bachelorette? They go, and then we're doing Thursdays again? Because they never compete with, and I don't blame them, they never compete with Monday Night Football. So, I don't know. We'll see. It's still, like, and again, so many people talking about Bachelor in Paradise being canceled, but we haven't heard either way yet. So there's still, like, if you're hoping for Bachelor in Paradise, there's still some hope. I don't know. I don't know. I think, like a lot of people, I'm feeling, wouldn't they be announcing it or talking about it, or there be like just some buzz out there? I guess, I don't know. I have to really, I have to think about it. It could be Jesse Palmer, could be other reasons. There could be other scheduling things that we're not thinking about right now. But I feel like last season, Charity's season was at the end of June, so it was close to July. If they do like early July, but there you go. It's going to be an interesting time period. I'm going to spend some time also in the after tomorrow's recap video comes out to figure out like what my content schedules is going to be like, because I need to see. I'm interested in looking at some other shows and stuff like that in the off season to see what's going down, and if there's fun stuff to cover. I know there's that I might check it out. I don't know if I'm gonna actually do anything with it, but there's that Joey on this show, this other network show. It looks like they've got Joey acting. Could be cringe. Could be interesting to check out. Could be really good. Hey, Joey shocked me this season. You want to know why? Because Joey is the first Bachelor in forever to not completely royally screw up a season. Good on you, Joey. Congrats to you. You've done what almost no Bachelor has been able to do, at least in the last I don't know what. Gosh, we're talking pre-Colton. No Bachelor has been able to go through a season without royally screwing up in some way, or some scandal coming out. So congrats Joey, you did it. Maybe your acting job on this show where there's some sort of emergency that happens on the Bachelor set, maybe it will be fantastic. And Maria Hernandez, thank you again for the super chat. Who would be your golden Bachelorette? I would love to see Sandra be unapologetic, Lee herself. Faith could also be a good choice, but I live for the Sandra chaos. I know I have a soft spot for Sandra, and though I don't know, I did in I think another live stream or something. Some people were talking about Susan, and I could, I don't know, I could, if it was from the past season, I could actually I don't know, just I could see a Susan season being entertaining, and yeah, I don't know from the season. I know Leslie's a more traditional choice. I don't know. It's gotta be one of these ladies that they keep pulling out there. But maybe it's I think the any idea of a Susan Cathy Golden Bachelorette possibility, which I didn't think was going to happen, but it's now completely not a possibility now that they have that podcast coming out. They've got their own Golden Bachelor Happy Hour podcast coming out that'll be lined up for the Golden Bachelorette. So we'll see. But again, I hope an hour, because it's nice, very palatable. I think for me too, it's nice. 8 to 9, feeling fine, baby. The 8 to 10 on The Bachelor, you get so used to. As long as the season's good, they keep the some entertaining stuff going, I don't mind. But that 8 to 9 Golden Bachelor was great. Oh, the potential men for Jen's season. Let's because they're gonna film that right away. Is that on Bachelor Facebook page? Is usually where they do it. Or on Twitter. Let's see if I can, or I mean X, I should say. It's always, for me, it is always. Are they? And it's definitely not on their Twitter page. Like, it's still charity Dancing with the Stars stuff. The Bachelor Twitter page was also. I see. And Open Windows 95. Do you think they passed over Daisy because of that music video? Oh yeah, Daisy had a rap video that she did. No, I don't think that was a factor. I mean, I didn't. You know, I say that I didn't watch the video. But here, I'm changing my profile pic. There you go. All right. Here you go. Some of the men from The Bachelorette already announced. Kevin from Denver, 35. Interesting locale. They've done these photo shoots in. Brian from Boynton Beach, 32, Florida. Dylan from Elk Grove, California, 24. Thomas from Toronto. They got their Canadians. Male Maria. Sam M from Myrtle Beach, 26. So far, not a single Asian guy, I don't think. Spencer, Dallas, Texas, 30. Brendan, another Canadian from Vancouver. Jahan from New York. he's got like these comments on the side. Grant from Houston. Jonathan J. From LA. And now also remember, these guys. This is not necessarily the full cast. I think for Joey season they Muscle Man Thomas from Tucker, 31, and they often cut a couple of these guys. For Joey season, I think they didn't. I think they had a full cast. That's why they were saying it was like the biggest cast ever. They didn't cut anyone. They just cut a bunch of them night one instead. Austin from San Diego. Small picture of Hakeem. Sorry, man. Mose from Albany, 25. Jeremy Fairfield, 29. Corbin from LA. Jonathan H, 24, from Oxford. Ricky from Miami. Marcus from Raleigh. John from Delray Beach. Marvin, Santa Monica. Devin from Houston. Sam from Carl's, whatever, I missed it. Hassan from Denver. Brett, a little bit of a blurry photo, from Mannheim. Dakota from Paradise Valley. Matt from Atlanta. Aaron from Tulsa. And there you go. Count them up. There are the guys for Gen season that they posted. And there theoretically could be more. Sometimes they add and take away. I know there was a season. It was the season before Claire's. It was. It was for Claire's that Greg, I think Grippo, was going to be on that season, and then I don't know what happened. He was like in the cast photos, and then he got moved on to Katie's season. So, so say those men were for Maria. But yeah, so if you recognize any of those guys, Dish, spill the tea. Spill the tea. But there you go. There you go. So, early cast announcement already. I don't know what if it's the standard. Please vet these men for us, but we'll see. These are the men we'll be seeing grace our televisions on Gen season. So there you have it. That's the Bachelorette announcement and the end of Joey's season, where Kelsey and Joey got engaged, and another successful season in the books. We'll see. I have hopes. I have hopes for Joey. Joey and her. He seemed very super positive, super excited, about everything. At the after the final rose. So I wish him the best. But I am gonna end things. First guy is Noah's brother. Interesting. Aaron is Noah's brother. Well, the Bachelor connections, they always continue. So he'll be causing some sort of ruckus, I'm sure. But the people who are connected to other contestants usually always make some sort of splash. I think Zach was friends with someone from a previous season before he went on the show and then became the Bachelor. Yes, I'm gonna end the stream right here because it's been it's a long night, and it's been a long night, and I've got a 3-hour recap to get to for tomorrow, and that'll be it. That'll be it for Joey's season, for another season of The Bachelor. I'm gonna be spending some time after that figuring out what the next couple of months might look like, what's coming out. There's always more content kind of on the way, but maybe taking a little kind of slow down time to figure that stuff out, and then get to more. And then in July it's Bachelorette, and then we've got Golden Bachelorette and maybe Bachelor in Paradise. We'll see. Update on the babies. The babies are wonderful. The babies are amazing. I've got an almost 5-month-old now who is just the happiest, smiliest baby ever, and a wildly curious and headstrong 3-year-old who's doing amazing. But yes, it'll be back to it soon. Mom Take's doing amazing as well. And yeah, bright and early tomorrow to get that recap video out, and then we'll see. Then we'll see what content's on the way. I know I'm keeping my eyes open for a lot of stuff, but I'm gonna figure that out later. For now, thank you all, everyone who joined in this season, who watched, who lurked, who super chatted, who chatted, all the above. Think Story, who was modding, and yeah, thank you so much. Stay tuned for the video tomorrow, and then onward and upwards, and see you back in July. Woo! Oh boy. So, looking forward to Jen's season. Looking forward to it all. Alright. Woo! Time to go to bed, everybody. Have a wonderful night, and until next season, Bachelor Fan Take out. Good night, everybody.